It's kind of wild when you think about it. Most of our planet is covered in water, right? But what's actually hiding beneath the surface? Well, that's one of humanity's greatest and, frankly, most terrifying unknowns. So in this explainer, we're diving deep into 3 real, unsolved mysteries from the absolute darkest corners of our world.
And believe it or not, that isn't just some cool saying. It's the truth. We have mapped the entire surface of Mars, the entire surface of the Moon, but over 80% of our own ocean, it's totally unmapped, unobserved, and unexplored. It's a vast, alien world right here on Earth, hiding secrets we are only just beginning to imagine.
Just to put this in perspective for you, the deepest known point, the Mariana Trench, plunges down nearly 7 miles. The pressure down there is over 1,000 times what you and I feel right now. It's an environment so hostile, it's literally easier to send people into outer space. Now, just imagine for a second what could survive down there.
Okay, so our first case file, it's not about something you can see. It's about something you can hear. A sound that, by all accounts, simply shouldn't exist.
Picture this. It's the summer of '97. Researchers with the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, they're listening for underwater volcanoes with these super-sensitive deep-sea microphones. But what they picked up was something else entirely. Something they ended up calling the bloop. Now, the sound itself, it was just weird. It was an incredibly low-frequency noise, but it was so powerful that it was detected by hydrophones over 3,000 miles apart. But here's the part that'll make the hairs on your arm stand up. Its audio signature was a perfect match for the profile of a sound made by a living animal. To really wrap your head around that, think about the loudest, biggest animal on Earth, the blue whale. Well, for any living thing to make a sound as loud as the bloop, scientists figured it would have to be several times larger than the biggest blue whale ever seen. Now, sure, NOAA later came out and suggested it was probably just an ice quake from a cracking glacier. But that audio profile remains a dead ringer for a living creature, just one of an absolutely impossible size. Which leads us to a really chilling question, doesn't it? Could those old sea monster legends actually be true? Could there be some kind of colossal, prehistoric creature hiding down there in the trenches, completely unknown to science? All right, let's move on. Our next case file takes us from a mysterious sound to a very real, very strange object that a team of treasure hunters found when they got way more than they bargained for.
So it's 2011, and a Swedish team called Ocean X is scanning the floor of the Baltic Sea. They're hoping to find some old shipwreck gold. Instead, their sonar paints a picture of something that looked like it was completely out of this world.
What they found was this huge, perfectly circular object, about 200 feet across. And I'm not kidding, the team's first reaction was that it looked just like the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars. It seemed to have these weird stair-like structures on it, and behind it you could see these long drag marks on the seafloor, almost like it had skidded to a stop after crash landing. But this is where the story goes from just strange to deeply unsettling. As the dive team got close to the object, all of their equipment, satellite phones, cameras, even their sonar, it all just died, instantly. The second they moved away from it, everything flickered back on. Now, skeptics will say it's probably just a natural rock formation that's rich in metal, but that doesn't really explain the perfectly consistent and localized electronic interference, does it? So what is it? This thing seems to be generating some kind of field that messes with electronics? Is it some kind of forgotten top-secret military tech from the Cold War? Or, as a lot of people have suggested, did this dive team accidentally stumble upon the wreckage of a crashed UFO? For our final case file, we're getting into something that's a bit of a modern legend, coming from unverified reports. But it takes us to the most inaccessible place on the planet and gives us some visceral, terrifying evidence of an unknown predator. That's right, we are heading back to the Mariana Trench, a place of absolute, complete blackness, near-freezing water, and pressure that would crush a person into pulp in less than a second. It is without a doubt the last truly unexplored frontier on our planet. So, according to these accounts, a classified, unmanned deep-sea probe was exploring the trench when suddenly, poof, it went silent. When the crew on the surface finally managed to winch it back up, they were horrified. The heavy-duty steel cables looked like they had been chewed through, and the probe's reinforced titanium hull was covered in enormous bite marks. I mean, seriously. The bite marks didn't match any known animal.
Whatever attacked that probe had to be powerful enough to chew through solid steel cables and big enough to get its jaws around a deep-sea submersible. What kind of predator is lurking in that crushing darkness that can do that?
So we have a sound from a creature bigger than a blue whale, a crashed object that kills electronics, and evidence of a predator that can literally bite through metal. And here's the kicker. These are just the mysteries we've stumbled upon by accident. It leaves you with one last, haunting thought. If these are the secrets we've managed to find, what are the ones we haven't?